When you watch as much anime as me, that also means you watch a lot of bad and average anime. I love them all the same. I actually recently finished watching Chrome Shell Regios, which is a perfectly average fantasy anime. But sometimes to cleanse the palate, we need to watch something excellent. You know, the kind of anime that got you into the medium in the first place. For instance, I've heard of people not watching Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, but instead reserving it for just this exact purpose. For me, one anime I knew was excellent and put down was Golden Kamuy. Created by Geno Studios, it has a unique setting of the 1900s Japan. In the Hokkaido region and covers the aftermath of the Russo-Japanese War, where the Japanese military openly fought the Russians in the first modern war of the 20th century. This is content that is rarely covered in any medium, so that automatically captured my interest. I put the anime into the vault knowing one day I would need to call upon it to restore my faith in the medium, and today, that day has come. There's just one issue. Golden Kamuy, though a fictional story, relies heavily on historical context. It can be a challenge to be aware of all the important factors affecting the Hokkaido region of 20th century Japan. Today we will be seeking to do just that. Hello everyone, welcome to Aniprop. Today we are discussing the historical context of the highly acclaimed Golden Kamuy from 2018. Remember to subscribe and like the video if you enjoy it. Let's get into it. Everybody remember Pearl Harbor? Of course you do. Well, the Americans should not have been surprised about a surprise attack from the Japanese, because they had done the same thing to the Russians in 1904. Japan staged a surprise attack on Port Arthur, a Russian garrison set up in an effort to annex South Korea. This is the starting point of the anime Golden Kamuy. The anime opens with the immortal Sugimoto of the Tokyo 1st Japanese Infantry Division storming a Russian pillbox while sustaining heavy fire from their fully automatic Maxim guns, fortifying the position. Many of the characters and events that occur in Golden Kamuy owe their roots to this historical event. Characters such as the immortal Sugimoto, our first main character who gained his reputation during the Battle of Port Arthur. Interestingly, the main character Saichi Sugimoto is actually based on the mangaka Satoru Noda's great-grandfather, who did indeed fight at the Battle of Port Arthur. He was the inspiration for the original manga and had the exact same name as our protagonist with a different spelling, however, to symbolize that the characters are not exactly the same. Sugimoto saw many of his comrades killed in the Battle of Hill 203. In real life, the Japanese lost 8,000 soldiers in that event alone. After the war ended, Sugimoto one day, while fishing for gold in a Hokkaido river, is told a story by a drunk prison escapee. The story states that a large sum of gold, originally belonging to the Ainu people, was stolen and hidden by Noppera-bo. The map to the gold's location was tattooed onto the body of the prison escapees from the Abashiri prison. The gold is fictional, but given the historical context of the losses Sugimoto saw, it's easy to understand his motivation to get the gold in an attempt to help the families of his deceased brothers in arms. Also owing his origin to Russo-Japanese conflict at Port Arthur is the main antagonist, First Lieutenant Tsurumi, who lost part of his frontal lobe in an explosion during the Battle of Mukden in 1905. After the Japanese took Port Arthur, the Russians sent reinforcements to take it back. resulting in the largest pre-World War terrestrial battle, the Battle of Mukden. The Japanese were deemed to have won the Russo-Japanese War. They were allowed to keep the annexed lands, but were not offered war reparations from the defeated Russians. This left the Japanese public bemused and resentful. The Japanese soldiers were not offered any rewards for surviving the battles, so they were even more resentful. In the anime, First Lieutenant Tsurumi's motivations are to take the Ainu gold and separate from the Imperial Army, using the capital to fund the weapons necessary to do so. Given the historical context, his motivations also seem reasonable and believable. Other real-world events molded the remainder of the cast. The most important character is Ashirpa, a young Ainu girl who saves Sugimoto from a brown bear in the very first episode of the anime. The two decide to team up in the quest to find the gold. Ashirpa is a strong representation of the impact that the end of the shogunate in 1868 and the Meiji Restoration had on the Ainu people. The Ainu are known to be the indigenous people of the Hokkaido region, previously known as Ezo in Japan. This is the primary setting for the anime. During the Meiji Restoration, Hokkaido was annexed and the Ainu people were forced to assimilate into Japanese society. Hence, we get Ashirpa, a young Ainu girl with mixed ancestry based on her physical features. She is able to speak fluent Japanese and Ainu. She is knowledgeable of old Ainu traditions but has adopted the ones she desires to carry forward and dropped the ones that she deems unfit for the coming future. In her own words, she is a new Ainu woman. The Meiji Restoration was a battle between Japanese imperial forces armed with matchlock guns and the old shogunate, protected by sword-wielding samurai. This is a well-documented event in entertainment, thanks to shows with Western releases like The Last Samurai and Rurouni Kenshin. The Meiji Restoration is possibly the most documented event of Japanese history in Western media. There is one more crucial character born from the Meiji Restoration. As the imperial forces pushed back the old shogunate, the remaining forces gathered together in the island state of Hokkaido and formed the Republic of Ezo. They were crushed by the imperial forces in 1869. In Golden Kamuy, we are introduced to Hijikata, an old samurai of the Shinsengumi, the shogun's personal guard. In real life, Hijikata was the leader of the Shinsengumi and the Republic of Ezo. He led many successful offenses against the imperial army before being killed in the Battle of Hokodate in 1869. In Golden Kamuy, Hijikata survives that battle and is locked up in Abashiri prison. He then seeks to use the gold to restore the Republic of Ezo to its former glory. The historical context is crucial here, as had the real Hijikata survived, he would have likely had the same ambitions as the fictional one in the anime. Traveling frequently with Ashirpa and Sugimoto is Shiraishi, the escape artist. He is based on the real-life Yoshi Shiratori. Shiratori made 4 recorded prison escapes, even digging a tunnel from solitary confinement to escape an execution. There is a memorial of him in Abashiri Prison Museum. Yes, Abashiri Prison features heavily in the anime and is a very real place. Even the architecture in the anime is exactly the same as it is in real life. This for me adds a real weight to the action. Abashiri Prison is a cornerstone of the story and the setting for key story set pieces in season 1 and 2 of the anime. In season 2, Tanagaki joins the party. Tanagaki is a soldier with the 7th Division and a Matagi. The Matage are historically known as Ainu-speaking hunters who migrated from Hokkaido into Honshu. Tanagaki is a modern Matage and a victim of the forced Japanese assimilation in the Hokkaido region. He does not speak Ainu, but due to the close cultural connection between the Ainu and the Matage, he forms close bonds to some of the Hokkaido region Ainu. He is tasked by a village elder to keep a Sherpa alive and safe. Although the historical context is not required to enjoy this anime, it does improve the viewing experience significantly. With this, we are able to make deeper connections with each character, and get greater satisfaction from the details in the anime. An example of this is during the anime, a Sherpa gets extremely excited to eat some white rice. At first, I couldn't understand this. But upon doing research for this video, I realized that the Ezo was an extremely cold area and not forgiving to grain, which explains why most of the tribes in the Ezo were hunter-gatherers. So it is very likely that due to the fact that grain is difficult to grow in the area, a Sherpa has never eaten rice in her life. Small details like that take the show to another level. Whether you plan to watch Golden Kamuy for the first time, rewatch it, or have watched it already, I hope the information here increases your enjoyment. Comment your favorite character from Golden Kamuy below. Thanks for watching today. Like and subscribe, and see you next time.